Good morning, cadets. Welcome to Orlando International Airport. This is going to be a quick 0.5 episode, and the objective is to have a brief visit to the Magic Kingdom. One of the Disney executives was gracious enough to loan us their Bell 222B helicopter, so I graciously accepted after signing a lengthy indemnity. Bob Iger himself gave me a crash course on how to get this thing in the air. So with that, let's get this show on the road. Our goal is to land on the lawn just before Cinderella Castle, and then end the video with a short hop over to Epcot Center. Let's approach this beast and hop on in. Gingerly step inside. Okay. We are in and we are going to close the door. Right, I don't know who this is. We're going to call her Daisy, and I think her we'll call Minnie, and we're going to call him Donald. Yes. Okay. Jumping outside the aircraft again. Right, so how these things work. Right, if we have a nice close look at that big rotor on top, that is controlled by the collector. Now, for the flight simmers, that will be your throttle stick that turns the angle of the rotors, and that just creates more lift, not necessarily adjusts the fuel going to the engine. This is a twin engine helicopter, so basically yes, there are two engines running the same rotor. On the tail, the rudder adjusts the angle of attack of these little smaller wings, and that affects the yaw of the aircraft. Okay, let's jump in. This thing is pretty simple to get started. You would think not, but it is. We're going to put fuel primer and fuel valve on engine 2 and engine 1. We're going to do the same thing. I'm going to go on to both generators, and inverters I'm going to leave on. So that's it really. Then we're going to go down here. This is the lever here, they call it the collective. It goes up and down, and that, if you have a look outside, is what is adjusting the angle of attack on the rotors. Then we've got the throttle for the engines, which is these handles here, kind of like a reverse motorcycle grip. Right, so then engine 1 we're going to go on, right, and then that's going to start our rotor slowly, but faster and faster eventually, of course, rotating. I had the option of using the Airwolf livery for this helicopter, seeing as we're in the land of the show business, but I decided against it. Not very original. Okay, while that is spinning up, it's going to get faster and faster. We're also going to engage the other engine. Right, so both engines will be firing up. What we're looking for here on these dials, this is the speed of the rotor. We want it between these two marks here for proper flight. There's the first engine that's basically warmed up already, and here's the second engine that is warming up or spooling up. Let's also turn on the anti-collision lights and the position lights. Let's guard the fuel valves there. Spins up pretty quickly. I'm not sure how realistic this is, but yeah, we're almost ready to go. We can turn that off. That's just warning us of the brakes. The parking brake is on, but we're not going to be doing any taxiing on this aircraft, even though we could if we want to. I don't see the point, so I'm going to leave the parking brakes on. So this thing is ready to go. As mentioned before, we are at Orlando International. The Magic Kingdom is 14.5 nautical miles to the west. So it's going to be a fairly quick trip to get there from here. Alright, let's just check everything is good. I think we are good to go. So let's raise that actuator a bit. Oh, we're also going to, before we do, just throttle these up a bit. There we go. Right. And we're away. Okay, let's get some altitude. We're facing north at the moment, so we're going to rotate this aircraft to the left. Still going straight up, pretty much. Right, that's the direction we want to face. Jumping back in. Now, we pitch the nose forward somewhat, and what that's going to do is now force the air backwards, which will push the helicopter forward. Yeah, that's the terminology I'm looking for. Oh, and also, let's raise the gear. Okay, now we want to raise the collector a bit, the collective, a little bit more, and we are on our way. We're going to be zooming over the Orlando countryside, as it were, heading to the Magic Kingdom.
The Walt Disney World Resort is enormous, covering approximately 25,000 acres. It is roughly the size of San Francisco. The Magic Kingdom, the first of the 4 theme parks at Disney World, opened its doors on October the 1st, 1971. Disney World has one of the most extensive monorail systems in the world. The monorail was an opening day attraction and has since become an iconic part of the Disney experience. The geodesic sphere in Epcot, known as Spaceship Earth, is often mistaken for a golf ball. It is actually a ride that takes you through the history of communication. Throughout the parks and resorts, you can find hidden Mickeys, subtle images of Mickey Mouse, strategically placed by Disney Imagineers. As of the 1st of January 2024, the copyright for Steamboat Willie is no longer held by Disney. therefore it falls under the public domain. Cinderella's castle in the Magic Kingdom is not just a beautiful facade, it houses Cinderella's royal suite, a lavish accommodation that cannot be booked. It's only used for promotional giveaways.
Okay, we have just crossed over into Disney-owned land. I would say most of Orlando is owned by Disney. Okay, we're getting pretty close. Right in front of us is Discovery Island. It's a lovely little island which Disney doesn't know what to do with, apparently. Pretty much abandoned. Right, there's some fancy hotels here on the right, and the Magic Kingdom and Main Street USA is now on our right. Right, so we need to slow this thing down. And there we have Cinderella Castle. So, we're gonna just turn to the right here. Right, we're gonna see if we can just come around and land on the lawn, shall we? There's Space Mountain. Whoops! Hey, that was a close call. Okay, let's turn this thing around. Nice rudder control there. There is our target. And we're gonna go wheels down. I have got permission from Mickey himself. Okay, we're looking alright. Right there is my target. Little bit of forward momentum. Looking okay. Whoops, we don't want to float up. Now we're ballooning, as they call it in the aviation industry. There we go. We have touchdown. Touchdown in front of the castle. Goodness gracious. I think I'll make that the thumbnail. Sweet! Right, from there, we're going to head to Epcot. Epcot is just to the south. Just to the southeast, if I remember correctly. Thanks, Mickey. And there, of course, is Main Street, USA. The rendition of the Magic Kingdom in Flight Sim, not very good at all, I must say. Okay, we want to do a slow turn left, and let's get going. Forward. Momentum. Epcot Center now, and the World Showcase, I believe it's called. Dining at the Mexican restaurant is one of my bucket lists. The car parks. The car parks of Disney World. If we are lucky, we might capture a glimpse of the Millennium Falcon at the edge of tomorrow. No, the Galaxy's Edge, beg your pardon. Okay, now there is the, I call it the golf ball, Epcot Center's golf ball. Go. Now we're just going to do a left turn here. I think Galaxy's Edge is somewhere beneath us. Actually, I think it's about right. Nonetheless, we're going to end off the video by attempting to land on top of the golf ball. Here is Epcot. Right. Let's put on our game faces. Okay. Wheels are down. Alright, so this is going to be a wee bit tricky, as you might imagine. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to keep the parking brake on. When we land this thing, we don't want these wheels going all over the place. Going to need to go forward. We need to see where we are. I must say, Epcot's deserted today. How are we looking? I think we will be looking okay. Right, from here we jump back into the helicopter and we turn everything off. Well, that was something new. Not a perfect landing on top, but I think it's good enough. As long as nobody turns off the parking brake. Okay, there we go. Thank you everyone, that was lovely. I'll be seeing you on our next flight as we head on out. Let's open the door and step out, I guess. There we go. And there you are. Thanks for watching.